This is Batman. Security level, Omega. Password, Delta Charlie, 27-5-1939. Enable new protocol. Title, Agamemnon Contingency. Should anyone dangerous turn rogue, we need to have plans in place to handle each and every threat. We need to be prepared for the worst always. Agamemnon Contingency file code name, Shadow Stalker. Jason operates best in familiar terrain, particularly around Crystal Lake. His home territory provides him with stealth and access to weapons of opportunity. To neutralize this advantage, I would ensure that the environment is under my control from the start. Disguised proximity alarms would be installed in key areas. These emit low-frequency sounds to attract Jason, subtly guiding him to a predetermined point. The alarms would need to be silent to human ears, but enticing to his heightened instincts. Jason's weaknesses are rare, but his fixation on his mother, Pamela Voorhees, is one of them. Using high-resolution holographic projections and speakers, I'd replicate Pamela's voice, alternating between calm and commanding tones. This wouldn't stop him, but it could temporarily pacify him or at least slow his movement. The cage would be a fortified containment room lined with shock-absorbing reinforced steel. This room would be equipped with a series of retractable metal bars designed to seal once Jason is inside. Isolation shields would limit his peripheral vision, reducing his ability to strategize within the room. This isn't to trap him indefinitely, but to contain him momentarily and gather intel on his reaction times and strength, critical for implementing the secondary phase of the plan. Jason's bond with his mother is the closest thing he has to vulnerability. Once contained, the next step is to deploy a custom-designed hologram and audio loop of Pamela Voorhees, featuring pre-recorded lines mimicking her pleading or commanding tones. This psychological manipulation is intended to halt his attacks momentarily. Studies on Jason show his hesitation in the presence of his mother's voice. Neurological pattern studies, based on past cases, suggest that his aggressiveness drops by up to 30% when he perceives Pamela. This small window could give me the necessary leverage for physical containment or transfer. Jason's regenerative abilities make him difficult to kill, so direct physical attacks are minimized in favor of environmental manipulation. A cryochamber would be used to drastically reduce his body temperature. Jason's movement and reflexes are slowed in freezing conditions, making containment far more manageable. Once inside, high-speed vents would release liquid nitrogen gas, creating sub-zero temperatures to immobilize him. If cold fails to keep him contained, incendiary measures would be activated. A series of high-intensity, temperature-controlled flames, over 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit, would be released around him. Tests on regenerative beings suggest that intense heat damages cellular structures faster than they can heal, even for someone of Jason's resilience. Should Jason breach initial containment, an immediate fallback to Cryo-Stasis would be implemented. The Cryo-Stasis unit is a reinforced, blast-proof pod designed to initiate cryogenic freezing within seconds. The pod would be set to maintain a constant temperature of -320 degrees Fahrenheit, effectively placing Jason in suspended animation. Unlike other containment methods, this would prevent his body from healing or moving until the system was deactivated. Monitoring and fail-safes. The unit includes backup generators and redundant cooling systems to ensure containment in case of power failure. Jason's resurgence is often tied to specific rituals or the desecration of Crystal Lake. The area would be placed under 24/7 surveillance with heat-sensitive motion detectors, able to recognize Jason's unique heat signature and movement pattern. Additional hidden thermal cameras and silent alarms would be stationed within the forest and lake area. This setup would detect any supernatural disturbances or unusual movement, immediately alerting me if he shows signs of revival. To ensure no lapse in containment, an annual on-site recon and system maintenance would be performed to secure any potential breach points around Crystal Lake. If all traditional and technological methods fail, alternative resources would be consulted. Jason's curse is rumored to have supernatural origins, making mystical countermeasures a potential fallback. I'd consult with allies knowledgeable in the occult, Satana, John Constantine, to devise a binding ritual specific to Jason's spirit. It's a last resort measure, but binding his spirit to an object or location could prevent his return indefinitely. Jason Voorhees isn't just a killer. He's the embodiment of rage and vengeance, something beyond the logic of most criminals I face. But every force of nature has a weakness. This contingency plan may not defeat Jason permanently. His kind rarely stay down for good, but it would ensure that if he rises again, he'll be contained and ready to face the wrath of the Bat. And if it ever comes to a final encounter, I'll be ready,